Sound test. Sound test 1 2. Sound test 1 2. Testing 1, testing 2. Testing 1, testing 2. Shalom. Good evening, everyone. We're going to start right in because I'm not going to take a lot of time this evening, and I need for you to be understood that that is the case. This is a quick delivery. This is a quick release that I believe will place you in a position of hope, that will place you in a position of certainty and warmth. A very short disclosure today. And I would that you would share this, not for likes, but for the fact that I believe that this can be a monumental 30 minutes in your life and for the days to come. Malcolm X once said, "We're not outnumbered, but we are outorganized." We are not outnumbered, but outorganized. This is not a call to arms. No. This is a position to realize the reality that everyone is passionate at this point. And today I am calling upon leaders, those who have stepped out, those who have been in leadership. And I don't mean leadership as in up front. I mean whatever part of the ship that you have been put in charge of, whether it is the oars, whether it is the steering wheel, whether it is the stern, whatever part of the ship that you are to lead, whether you are a leader who has been pronounced, a leader that has been denounced, a leader that is lacking confidence, a leader that is lacking direction, a leader that has been a leader all of his or her life and has never been given the opportunity to feel that their leadership or their worth was measured properly. Today I have a message of hope for the leaders who are undiscovered, for the leaders who are afraid of being discovered, for the leaders who are unaware of what and who and how they will lead, but they know that in this moment, in this diaspora of time, that you have been called to step forward. I have a message of hope in the next 26 minutes for you. And I would exhort you to listen. Before I get to that dissertation of deliverance of your purpose, my hat, I want to draw the attention to my hat. This hat is the hat that I wear every time that I have to step out of my home to go into the world that is quarantined. I wear it not as a distraction, but as, well, a reminder of the mantle and the weight that we carry in this moment to define history. For years, for decades, for eons, for generations, history has been written by the victors. But here is an opportunity that no matter if the victors be just or unjust in the past, here is an opportunity for you and I, the criers of true justice, to write history as the victors. My hat that I wear out every time that I go out as a weight, as a mantle that reminds me of the weight and the proclivity of the time that we live in. It's heavy sometimes. My hat says 1776 America. If you can read, it says America 1776. And then I have plastered the words permanently in ink, in spilled ink, black ink, brown that fades to grays, that fades to browns, that leads to reds, that is symbolic of every drop of blood spilled, of gray, black, brown blood, since the culmination in 1776. America was. It is important for you to understand that in that dynamic of words, it has many meanings. America was what? America was the passionate individuals who were escaping, leaving as exiles, as degenerates from the rule of the British. America was a country that was built on the heels and the head of black and brown skin, from native to African. I believe that we will look back on these days of history, in history, and be able to say that America was. But we will be able to look with our eyes up high and say that America was not what this land will be and is. I meet the world every day when I have to go out amongst a mentality that is quarantined, when I have to go out into a purpose that this world sees as pandemic. I have to go out with the understanding of my great uncle in the city of Chicago, a great leader in the city of Chicago that has taking his rest, long taking his rest. And I recall the words of my great uncle as he told me the counsel that he gave the family of Emmett Till as he pastored the family after the killing of Emmett Till. In the city of Chicago, I think of my legacy as I put this hat on. And I recall the stories, the documented stories, the personal stories, the legacy that my great uncle kid, George Liggins, passed on to me when he told me that he had to pastor and lead the family, the community after the slaying of Emmett Till, as Emmett Till's family sat in the pews of his church. And now I stand as a descendant of that legacy, living the life of my own injustice, current day of Emmett Till in so many ways. As we have whistled, been accused of whistling, as we have been accused of whistling at the perspective of the promise of purpose, as we have been accused of whistling at the doors of Congress, as we have been accused of whistling at the doors of the Senate and whistling at the doors of the presidency and whistling at this American dream I am living through my own Emmett Till experience and watching the lynching of our whistling at our purpose. I stand as a legacy one. And now I understand that it is my time to speak hope to a people that believe, that truly believe that we will see. We are in the process, we are in the makings of seeing the glory of our new Jerusalem. I need to speak hope to a people that understand, that believe that we are in our darkest hour, but yet we are in our shining moment to bring a shining tomorrow. I speak to those who believe that we are in the process and we will see the glory of our new Jerusalem, Jerusalem. I speak to the current gate holders, the current gatekeepers, those of 60 and 70 and 80 and 90 years of age and more, who stand at the gate as the woman stood over the body of her grandchild at 80 or to 90 years old and has stared down the face of bullets, current day, and yelled to the adversaries, "Leave my baby alone." The same as those individuals who have been slain and have since taken their slumber and yelled as they looked down the barrel of guns. They looked down the barrel of police batons in the 50s and the 60s. They looked down the teeth, the canines of German shepherds, who looked down the barrels of fire hoses, who yelled, "We shall overcome," while they look. I speak to the current gatekeepers who stand even when they've done nothing but stand, who have nothing left to do but stand. I speak to those who will see this new Jerusalem with us. I have a message of hope for you, that your day is not done. And I also speak to the current key holders, those who join me from the ages of 50 down to the age of 30 who are current key holders, who will transition to key and gate holders as we protect those who have protected us for generations, those who have stood in positions of clergy positions, from the Reverend Doctors to the Bishop Emeritus, to those who stood in their towers of the churches. And now we, the key holders, stand in front of them and protect them as we take our place of security. I also have a message of hope for those who we will lead, who will lead us, who will lead with us, who will organize with us, not based upon the color of our skin, but on the clarity of our content. Not on the content, not the color of our, not based upon the color of our skins uniting, but under the understanding that we too shall overcome. I speak to those of a younger generation who have the fight of a lion and the strength of a tiger and the endurance of a gazelle. I welcome you to be inspired with hope today. Leaders are unveiled and appear when storms happen. Howbeit, storms happen so that leaders can be unveiled in the storm. Do not be distracted from what your attention is being attracted to right now. This is my message of hope to you. And not just distracted or attention towards from those who oppose current day in this climate, your progress. Don't just not be distracted from the things that you see as easily understood opposition to your purpose, from racism to prejudice to COVID to secret Congress meetings to laws passed as you are grieving. Do not be distracted by what you are being attracted, your attention is being attracted to. But also, do not be distracted from within yourself, staying focused only on the anger, the hurt, the frustration, all the while hearing the clarion call for you to do something new. Do not be distracted from even those. And do not be distracted by denying yourself the experience of enjoying the existence that is your life. From experiencing what is the existence that is your life. Not realizing that you are going to need to have a place of great creativity, ingenuity, that is free from what you are currently battling through. You will need a place to create ingenuity, ideas that will govern and create and build our tomorrow. Do not be distracted from that place. This place needs to be free from energy that would rob you from your ability to create from an uncorrupted, incorruptible place. For when you have overcome this prejudice position, when you have finally driven out and away the darkness that is racism, when you have annihilated the inability of inequalities, when you have arrived at this place, when every blue badge that has slain brown blood through injustice is sitting behind bars of steel, when it is that Black Wall Street has been rebuilt, and the massacre of Wilmington, North Carolina, 1898, has been adjudicated and reformed, you will need to believe. You will need to believe for and lead new ideas for a people in a world that has been unshackled. But your vision of and for this new world cannot be clouded by the battle that you will have overcome when we get there. You will need to have maintained a sense of peace in your life so that you do not build this new world from your current traumatic experiences that you have and will have endured and overcome. Therefore, it is important through the moments, from these moments of viewing racism, these moments of recording riots, these moments of eradicating inequality, these moments of addressing and erasing ignorance that has become our social media sword of justice. Remember that you must always remember to feed your peace. That peace that you will draw from when we reach the top of this mountain. And I will get there with you. This is what many of your rising leaders will, experience. This is what many of your rising leaders will experience and draw from to create our new Jerusalem as we rise together from these ashes. If you do not do this, then all of the passion and pulling that's happening inside of you, drawing you to a new place of purpose, igniting you to move in a place of prominence, understanding that you must move now, all of this compelling you to action. If you do not take time to feed your peace, then you will subsequently rebuild the world from the ashes that you have just annihilated in the fires below your feet when you overcome. You will rebuild the same rubble. You will re-engage the same ideas just from a different skin tone. You will create an oasis from the palm trees of your anxieties, from the ashes that you have just annihilated, from the ashes of the ruins that you will and are decimating currently, from the palm trees of San Jose to the boroughs and the blacktops of Baltimore, to the fighting and the ferocious fevers of Florida, the quiet shootings and loud hearings in Texas. From what you have decimated, if not careful, you will create the same world if you do not take time to feed your peace. Look at America. America has built the same boundaries that they were enslaved to under British rule. Look at America. You will find passion and pure purpose inside of your peace. Look at America. They were tyrants. They were the expelled, the degenerates under British rule. And their intentions was to build a free place. But look at America. Look at what America was. Look at what America is. You must remember to feed your peace. As I previously said, you will find passion and pure purpose inside of your peace. You will find ingenuity in actions after the rubbles have been moved away inside your peace. You will find the strength to strengthen, educate, to build the people who will be living with us in New Jerusalem. But if you do not find that peace, if you do not feed that peace, then you will build from the anxiety of what you are experiencing now. If you have peace, then the hell that you have come through, if you have peace, then the hell that you have seen on social media, if you have peace, then the hell that you see in the eyes of those with feet on necks, if you have peace, then the hell that you have seen and experienced in the 60s and the 50s, if you have peace, then the hell that you have experienced in the 2000s to the 10s and the 20s, if you have peace, then the hell that you have experienced will be the building stones that you will assemble for our tomorrow. So I urge you, in these moments of convoluted conflict and seemingly unrighteous rioting, I urge you, as you go to your office, as you go to your churches, as you re-engage with your communities, as you do your jobs as a physician, as an attorney, as a mother, as a grandmother, as a teacher, I urge you to feed your peace in this moment. Remember the things that are important now and do not simply feed your, do not be fed by your current social media feeds. Reserve a place that you are still inspired to dream and drink from the waters that are unstagnant, and drink from the waters that are unpoisoned with everything that's going on, and drink from a fountain that is pure of ideas that you had even before you seen gunshots in backs, gunshots in head, feet and knees in necks. Go back to the place where you still, as you fight with one hand, teach your fingers to war and your hands to fight. As you fight with this hand, make sure that you are preparing your mind to build something that cannot be built from the insurrections that you experience, but you can only create that space if you remember to feed your peace today. How do you feed your peace? Take time with your loved ones to laugh. Turn social media off for the moments. Find some Cosby shows. Find some family together moments. Find a, as Jill Scott said, find a long walk in the park, maybe your backyard. Take the family for a walk. Love on those who love on you. Do not fail to continue in the things that you have seen and you have experienced as greatness, for your greatness is needed to rebuild in the days to come. More now than ever, it is necessary to have an identity. So as we search our history and we find the identity, today is a day for you to take a moment to Selah, to pause, and remember to take time to smell the roses. Remember to take time to build. Yes, you must still build your business. Yes, you must still build your relationships, because these are the businesses and the relationships that will be the communities that we need, and not the trauma that we've experienced that will feed generations to come. So I urge you, as we take a step away this week from learning the origin of our origin, from learning the origin of our DNA, do not be distracted. Don't be distracted. And know that there's more going on that the adversaries, that the adverse are doing. But there's also more going on that we need to do to organize our thoughts so that when the shootings stop, when the killing no longer remains, we must build without blood in our minds. We must build without blood in our head. Our hands must be ready to build. We must smell new. We must see new. We cannot begin to build from the trauma that we have experienced in this moment. This, I urge you, only if you believe, that your eyes will see the coming of the glory of the Lord. And we will live in New Jerusalem. We will live in understanding without ignorance. We will live while our children are not judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. We will live, and we will see the salvation of the Lord. Until next time, this is EP, and I approve of your greatness. This is EP. I approve of you and your passion and your purpose and your placing of substance toward your peace. Shalom.